Ron, there is going to be a lot of cleanup needed, and some of that is starting now that we're told that the fire crews have finished putting out the hot spots here in this building, and residents are now getting to go in and check on the status of their units and pull out any belongings that are still left. They believe that the fire started in the southeast corner, which you can see there, all that char on the side of the building just above where those people are talking right there. This is a laundromat that's behind me, and I talked to a man who is renting 2 units attached to this building on the back side of it. He and other people who live in the area think what happened was the front half of the roof snapped back onto the back half of the roof. I thought it was a construction site when I drove by it earlier. I had to come back and see that that actually wasn't true. We also know that all of the homes that still have their internal plumbing in place, those homes that are still livable, they do have running water, but it's not drinkable right now because the sanitation plant for the city was damaged, but people can shower and use their toilets. Drive-through testing for COVID-19 still requires some protective equipment as doctors lean in to administer a test, but it's a lot less than if someone had to be brought into a hospital where they could infect others or possibly catch something themselves. You can test your tire tread at home. You just need to take a penny, flip it upside down, and put it in your tire. If you can see Lincoln's whole head, that means you need new tires. Looks like I have a little bit of life left. Instead of going to church with Eden Montag and Vivian Flores on Sunday morning, the congregation at Cornerstone Church stopped and paid their respects to this memorial. It was a very somber service, but the message from the pastor was that nobody should be grieving alone and that they should turn to their faith in a moment like this.
I wake up, sometimes I read the news, and I have this feeling like, man, that must be terrible for those people, for those families, for that pastor. And then I realize it's me and it's us. It's like a bad dream.
People filling the pews at Cornerstone Church on Sunday to both worship and grieve.
And we're still trying to put the pieces of that together. So we're not going to act like we have everything together in a neat bundle, yet we don't.
Lead pastor Mark Vance choosing to share happy memories of the two, about the joy they brought to the world and their passions.
Vivian was a joyful, shining light, full of fun, loved Jesus, loved music, loved the life of the party, loved animals, planning to be a veterinarian. Eden, you may not have known her, but you've heard her at Cornerstone because she really liked my jokes and laughed very loudly. At times I'll be like, thank you for that.
The congregation is still very shaken. They hope through faith they will be able to remember Eden and Vivian and move forward when the time is right.
I don't know if there's a right way to do all this. I have a feeling that there is a wrong way to grieve, and that's to grieve alone. And so we're here together to say the right thing about who we are in light of God, but also who we are in light of each other. We're a family, so we walk through this together.
In Ames, I'm Travis Breese reporting.
Hey, you just jaywalked all over the street right here. Do you mind using the sidewalk for me?
Yes, sir.
Police don't generally pay a lot of attention to jaywalking.
Is that cool? I don't want to write you a ticket.
When they do, it's usually not the only charge involved. ICPD officers stopped and searched a black man they believed to be a felon in possession last December. Seen here on vest camera footage obtained through an open records request. Officer Travis Neild made the initial stop.
Well, he's jaywalking right now, so I mean, there's always that. But I don't recognize him either.
Neild received a tip the man had something heavy in his pocket. He initiated the stop for jaywalking, and once backup moved in, arrested the man.
Stop!
That man was Chris Kelly, who was previously convicted of a felony. He was carrying a weapon that day, which convicted felons cannot do. But that was all discovered after the stop. Eric Tyndall is an Iowa City lawyer who's reviewed this case.
They didn't identify who this individual was exactly, nor were they able to really identify what he may have been carrying.
A federal judge ruled in August that officers lacked evidence to suspect Kelly of a serious crime and did not have enough to warrant a jaywalking stop, violating his Fourth Amendment rights.
It wasn't a just reason to do it.
People were upset by the incident, and more upset when they realized Officer Neild was community relations officer for 2 months while the case was being reviewed.
Which honestly infuriated a lot of people. I mean, I've heard people in the South District saying that that's like a slap in the face.
Amel Ali has lived in Iowa City for 20 years. She's on the new Truth and Reconciliation Commission. The department updated its policies in October to make jaywalking and things like tinted windows secondary violations. Minor infractions can no longer be the sole reason for pulling someone over. Ali is happy the policy is changing, but doubts it will convince the people who really mistrust police.
The African American community, or the population that is uneasy with police officers, isn't watching city council meetings and seeing these new policies be put in place.
The city admits what happened to Chris Kelly does not help them get closer to the community.
Anytime that's done, there is a societal cost that hinders our ability to build relationships. And I think that's what the learning moment is here.
City officials say this policy change is just a first step. Ali says it has to be if the city truly wants zero tolerance for biased policing.
And I know this is hard right now because there's, we have just like an interim police chief, but someone coming out and saying, hey, we messed up. I think that would have gone a lot further.
Thank you, Jerry. Good to see us.
When Bob Jen put out the call on Facebook 2 weeks ago, he had no idea how many people would show up for his mom's birthday.
Just go into the overflow.
Come Saturday, well over 100 people showed up for his mom Viva's 105th birthday and her second cousin Mary's 104th.
Hi.
How's it going?
From firefighters to farmers to family, everyone was there.
Hi, Jane. Yeah, thank you, Jane.
The outpouring of the community is, besides family and friends, it's just tremendous.
Each person bringing their own personal touch. Bob is thankful that people took the time to make memories with them. It was a safe way to come together when we still may feel far apart.
They're getting cards from people that really don't know because it's such a special deal.
Did you know you had this many friends?
Oh, not really. I sure got a lot of them, though.
In Hills, Travis Breese, News 7, KWWL.